What's up guys, this is Eddie, welcome to a new video. So the question today is, why do we use iconic powers like new Venom Boost, Robot Sidekick, Heat Vision with Solar Amplifier sometimes? Why are we using these powers in a loadout when we can use the powers itself, the superpower from the power set itself? So I'm gonna answer right now, let's go. Alright, so the reason behind using iconic powers in our loadouts is very simple. First thing you need to understand is that not all powers are same. They do not perform same. Okay, so first thing, remember that all powers have different type of damage output. They have different types of cooldown times, and some are channeling powers, so that means they have longer animations, and some are very quick, right? So whenever we are making a loadout, whether it's me, Obsidian, or Geo, or only Gen, whoever is making a loadout, we try to come up with a loadout which is faster, because everything in this universe is all about fast damage. You have to do fast damage to be on the top, to kill stuff faster, to be able to finish all the instances. So that's number one. So when I say not all powers are same, that means it includes supercharges as well. So the reason we are using new Venom Boost is because it grants you 40% damage bonus, right? It's pretty awesome. So when you have a great loadout which is perfectly balanced, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4 pretty easily. There is no cooldown delay on that, and when you pop new Venom Boost, that's gonna give you 40% damage bonus from your loadout. So you keep on doing 1, 2, 3, 4, and you are getting a lot of damage out of that loadout. So there's that. Now if you talk about electric, right, we have the circuit breaker, and the circuit breaker is pretty awesome. It also gives you a damage bonus, but we still choose it over new Venom Boost, and the reason is the cooldown time. So the new Venom Boost has 30 seconds cooldown time, while the circuit breaker has 15-second cooldown time. So you can pop 2 circuit breakers instead of 1, in the same amount of time as new Venom Boost. Then there is Ice Elemental. Ice Elemental is giving you 60% damage bonus instead of 40% damage bonus. So of course we're gonna go for Ice Elemental instead of new Venom Boost. But then you can also use new Venom Boost inside Ice Elemental loadout. So when you are in Ice Elemental, the loadout bar changes, you can put new Venom Boost. So 60% plus 40%. So you're not gonna get like 100% of damage bonus, but you're still gonna get around around 80% damage bonus. So it sometimes stacks, it sometimes doesn't, but still. So on the main loadout bar, we're gonna use Ice Elemental. So don't say that we don't use it. And the same goes for Rage as well. Berserk, amazing damage. You can use it in most of the situations, but again, you have to be mid-range. So if you don't prefer to be mid-range, if you want to be staying at the back at full range, you can use new Venom Boost. And also even for the single target, Berserk works great for AoE, but for a single target, it's not that great. So new Venom Boost is the first choice. But still, if you are electric, rage, ice, you can still not use new Venom Boost, and you can use circuit breaker, berserk, ice elemental. But for other powers, it's kind of necessary, because other power supercharges are... Let's talk about the other power sets. Then we have munitions. Big gun, amazing supercharge, literally destroys the enemies, but it's 10,000 supercharged power cost. So you use it once and it's gone. Now you're waiting for it to reload. So instead of that, we are gonna go with new Venom Boost, because with new Venom Boost, you can keep on doing your loadout, you can keep on doing the rotation, and you are getting a lot of damage. Then you have mounted turret and munitions. Mounted turret, also great damage. It does around 800 to 1 million damage, right? And the cost is around 5,000. So it's not like it's same as new Venom Boost, but it's a channeling supercharge. So you're stuck in the animation doing that supercharge for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds for 1 million damage. So then if you compare it with new Venom Boost, you get 40% bonus, and you keep doing on your rotation. You are not stuck at one spot, and so basically you're still doing more damage than mounted turret with new Venom Boost. So this goes for every other power set as well. So like for fire, we have Volcanic Comedy, right? A great supercharge for AoE. And but the problem is 10,000 supercharge power cost. Then we have Quantum Oblivion, great supercharge, again 10,000 power cost, and the list goes on. So until unless you are ice, electric with circuit breaker, you have to use the Venom Boost. And then there are some powers you can use to supercharges. Like you can do it with almost all power set, to be honest. You can use iconic supercharges like Speed Drain or Farm and Bloom or stuff like that. And you can run new Venom Boost, or you can run new Venom Boost and circuit breaker. It's up to you. So you can swap between them again and again. So, but it requires a different setup. So the easiest way to go is to a simple loadout with new Venom Boost, until unless you are electric or ice, or you can also use gorilla form in nature. That's pretty good as well. So this is the reason we have to go with new Venom Boost, because most of the power sets does not have good supercharges, and even if they do, they are 10,000 power cost. And if they are 5,000 power cost, they do not perform well, first of all. But even if they do a little bit, the cooldown time is a lot. It's more than 30 seconds. It's mostly 45 seconds or sometimes 60 seconds. So instead of waiting and waiting and waiting, we go with something which creates a fast loadout, and that is new Venom Boost. Now comes the part of Robot Sidekick. Like I said before, it's all about fast damage. So instead of pressing 5 powers in the loadout, you are going to be pressing 4 powers, right? So if you time it properly, if you choose your powers correctly, you can go from by the time you will reach power number 4, the power number 1 should be out of cooldown. So that means you can go back to it and do a lot of damage. But if you're going for 5th power and the power number 1 and 2 are out of cooldown, you're just wasting time, you're wasting damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 powers, most of the time in might-based loadouts. And the Robot Sidekick provides additional damage. It's not a lot, I'm telling you right now, it's not a lot. It's like what, around 50,000 or 40,000, sometimes only 30,000 damage in 10 seconds. But it adds up in the whole run. It adds up, you're running TSWR, the source wall raid, and you have Robot Sidekick on, it adds up. If you don't run it, you're missing out on damage. I'm telling you right now. So that's the reason we YouTubers go for Robot Sidekick in almost every loadout, because we want our loadout to be very, very efficient, and it should work really, really well. So that is the only reason we are using it. And then comes the heat vision. So the heat vision, as you can see, it's a burst damage in the beginning, then it's damage over time. It's a great power. Even without solar amplifier, it's a great power. It does pretty good damage. So that's the reason we're using it. Most of the power sets are lacking in single target damage, right? So for example, electricity. Electricity has great AoE damage. Munitions had great AoE damage, but still they sometimes lack in single target damage. So when a power set is lacking in single target damage and it's really great in AoE, to balance that out, we go for heat vision. So then when we combine it with solar amplifier, it gives you, bonus in the damage, it gives you a burst damage. So let's say you are fighting a boss in TSWR, let's say the one who laughs, right? And so you're fighting him and the ads show up. You can still use, solar amplifier because it's also a burst damage. Heat vision. So it's also a burst damage. So it's one power, like 2 in 1 power basically. It's great for single target as well, but it also does AoE damage. Now, if you don't want to use it, it's not compulsory. Telling you right now, I'm trying my best not to use heat vision in the videos I have done recently, the loadout videos and my upcoming videos as well. I'm trying my really, really best not to use solar amplifier, but then there are some situations the power set is so weak when it comes to single target that I have to use heat vision to keep up with other powers to balance the power set. So that's the only reason we use it. We don't like using it. I know most of the players are like, dude, come on, we switched to, let's say nature for a reason. Why are you using heat vision? Nature, Poison Ivy is not gonna use heat vision. So I understand your point of view, but it's not about, when it comes to loadout, it's not about how they look. It's not about cosplaying. It's about being efficient as a DPS. It's about being good at DPSing. So if you are in a raid and you're just, staying at the back and not doing much damage, and you're still saying that you are a DPS, I'm sorry to say that you're not. The thing is, the other group is literally carrying you right now. So you're last in a DPS and you refuse to use the correct loadouts and the rotation because they don't look good. Sure, understandable, but most of the time you will fail in elite raids. Regular runs, you can do it, you can run whatever you want. But in elite raids, you need to have an efficient loadout which produce, great damage output. So that is the reason sometimes we use Robot Sidekick or new Venom Boost or Iconic Power, sometimes even Lasso for single target, to take our single target loadout to the next step and take our AoE damage to the next step. And same as before, the supercharges, so new Venom Boost, you have to use it because most of the supercharges suck, and when they don't suck, they have a very slow cooldown time, so we have to use new Venom Boost. So this is the reason. I hope you guys can understand it. I'm trying my best not to use iconic powers in my upcoming videos for all the people who hate it, but I'm telling you, the only difference is if you don't use Robot Sidekick and new Venom Boost and you are atomic, for example, there's gonna be huge damage difference. But for solar amplifier, for heat vision, you can skip it. There's only gonna be like 5,000 damage in in 10-second partial, by the way, so only 5,000 damage difference, or maybe 10,000 damage difference. It's not a lot, so you can get away with it. So that's about it. I hope I explained myself on behalf of, well, myself and other YouTubers who are producing, who are making videos about DC Universe Online loadouts and rotations. So this is the reason. Well, that's about it. I'll see you guys next time.